Hello, Restoration Nation. This is Matthew Sharpe. Glad to be back with you for this week's episode of Higher Education in the Restoration Space. So, this is a fun one. I changed my original topic because of the ice apocalypse that is coming our way for those of you on the East Coast or the middle of the United States. So we live in Charlotte, North Carolina now, and the storm is going to hit tonight. So if you're watching this, maybe you're watching this after the fact and it already came and went. So I'm going to talk about growing, even doubling your business in storms or catastrophic events. Okay, so we've worked with over 10 consultants in the years of running our company. For those of you who didn't watch the last episode, my wife and I grew from scratch, only one prior year experience working for a restoration company. We grew from scratch in only 8 years, a restoration business in the Bay Area, California, sold it to private equity. So our company was doubling most years, growing extremely fast, and sold for top dollar. Then we worked with private equity for 14 months to take the company to the next level with them. We were the platform business that they had bought, and then we now moved to Charlotte and on for the next adventures. So now we have a storm coming up here. I personally don't think that this storm is going to be that bad as prior years. Here in Charlotte, 2002 had a big storm hit and wiped out power for 10 days. So maybe it happens, maybe it's not. It's good to be prepared. We have a generator, we've got extra food, we've got a barbecue and heaters and lights and battery packs. We're ready to go. So we were in the disaster business, so we know how to get through these situations. So be prepared, those of you out there. Help out your neighbors. Before, when we had storms hit California, we would have generators running, throw some power cords over the fence to the neighbors. Be a good neighbor, help out each other. Sometimes fires would hit. We would give free air scrubbers to elderly people. At the time, I had a grandfather who during COVID hit, wildfires, he had a major bad asthma. He was over 95 years old. And so we would just, if you got air scrubbers in the warehouse, man, hey, help out the elderly, help out people in need. Lend out those air scrubbers, man. It's good to give, and you give back, right? The more you give, the more you get back. It's just a spiritual principle. It's a real life principle. It's a business principle that works. And so help out your neighbors, help out those in need, be a good company, be a good person. So there's a little rabbit trail for you. So back to storms and growing your business in storms. So we worked with a consultant. Again, we worked with many of them. One of them, he worked with about our main consultant, Chris Hill. Shout out to Chris Hill, great guy. And he worked with probably 50 to 100, maybe more. He's been in the business a long time. And he said that most restoration companies grow or have the most growth or fastest growth during storms or catastrophic events. And so a lot of times the companies that grow very fast, these events take them to the next level. So I'm going to tell you a story about our company. We were growing fast without storms, and we never storm chase. So that's a whole nother thing. I do believe it's best to not storm chase for us in our business. Some businesses are built upon storm chasing because we didn't want to abandon our home market. Okay, so it's best to take care of your home market and not abandon it, because if you don't service those clients, you saw my last video, if we work on a hospital and our team is not there to execute, we're going to lose that client. So it's better repeat long-term business than it is to go chase the one-offs. But that was our business model. Some of you chase storms, and it works well for you. You're designed for that. All power to you. So different models. Do you, okay? So just something to think about. But if it hits your backyard, be ready to capitalize on it and take advantage of it. So for us, when we would talk about to our team, we would say, hey, like a storm's coming. Like sometimes we have 1 or 2 slow weeks a year, and typically in the summer or late spring, early fall. Have your fun then. But when it comes to storm season, like the summertime, the weather's great, you go to the beach, you enjoy life, you have your good pace. But when storm season's here, oftentimes wintertime or hurricane, like it's raining out there anyway, it's cold, stuff's changed unless you live in Florida. Shout out to you Floridans. wintertime for the rest of us, it's time to hunker down, and that's when we get our business. So let's make our money when it's wintertime, when it's cold outside, so that we can enjoy the summertime, right? And so basically, if overtime is needed, hey, all hands on deck, we're all gonna make this happen. And what is crazy is oftentimes with your exact same team, they're used to just doing their regular volume throughout most of the year. But when the storms hit, that same team can sometimes do, up to double, a huge more volume than the regular doing. And so it's like, okay, guys, we're unlimited overtime, whatever's needed, request double overtime if you're getting there. But we got to take care of these people and help as many people as we can. This is what we live for. This is why we're here. When stuff hits our backyard, we're ready to go. And so let's have good attitudes, and we're going to get less sleep. Let's let our families know, but this is where we're going to all make our money, a bunch of extra change, and we're going to help a ton of people, right? This is what the company makes a big chunk of its profit. So storm hits, all equipment's ready to go, vehicles look full of gas, everything's ready to go, right? And now it's surprising is the company will end up doing with the same people, oftentimes, sometimes double the volume. That happened to us. So a storm hit San Francisco, Bay Area, tons of rains, a whole city, San Carlos, flooded with mud. So all the ground was all dry, mainly on the hillsides, and rains hit, and it just washed all the mud down into the city, into the valley, and just like 4 inches of mud throughout the whole city. So we just went out there, got all the big trailer desiccants, and signed all the commercial buildings we can because, typically they weren't in a flood zone. They didn't have flood coverage, so self-pay. So we have medical labs, all different kinds of commercial buildings. We were just, let's go after the biggest buildings, sign them. So throughout the year, we're training even our young techs how to sell. So everybody in our company was trained how to sell. That was a big key to our success. We had guys 18, fresh out of high school. We taught them to sell $30,000 to $50,000 jobs. We wanted everybody to level up in their skills. That's a big thing we believed in, was a lot of training, giving people skills, especially sales skills. So first of all, pretty much most everyone that worked for us had some level, depending how well they spoke English typically. But even if not, we gave a means to sell. That's you want to sign up, little rabbit trail for sales coaching. I've got a great sales packet. We'll put on e-course later on down the road for you to be able to give you that knowledge. But so we had a way for people that don't speak great English to sell too. So everybody had opportunity to sell, could sell. So when catastrophic events happen, everybody's out selling, right? And so you obviously need enough equipment for that to capitalize on those events and have access to buy equipment. So we had really great relationship with our suppliers, and we could get equipment fast, and relationship with equipment rental guys, different parts of the state or other states. We could get whatever we needed. The relationships were already there. So if you don't have those relationships, figure them out. People can tell you online, they're out there. So everything's kind of in place. You guys are ready to sell. You've got equipment. You can get more equipment. And then the jobs hit. Your team's already prepped. That the storm's coming. We're ready to rock. It rocks. It happens. Everybody's running around like crazy, basically getting equipment where you can whenever there's power, enough electricity or generators, whatever you got. Getting power, of course, can be an issue, but once, everything's lined up. So we would create a list. Sometimes one storm, I think this storm, we had 500 calls in a day, I think 300 calls the next day. It was just insane. So we tell our whole staff, okay, Google who is the biggest houses, the biggest commercial buildings, right? Make it clear that it's all going to be self-pay. At the end of the job, hey, we've got 500 calls. You pay us, we take the credit card, and just making it clear. And if it's a large job, we need progress payments, every other day. And so we need money coming through because we've got to be able to help more people. We can't just utilize all of our resources and not have money coming in to cover all this. So make sure that just right up front, you can weed out a bunch of the calls, who's going to pay. But then you can also Google their address and see, hey, is this a big house? Is this a commercial building, like who is this? Who's paying? How likely are they going to pay? Hey, can you even, depending on your state, give a deposit down for us to mobilize and stuff? Like, let's already get the credit card going, right? So I'm going to make a whole nother video on legal and residential versus commercial and what you can charge, how you can charge. Every state law is different, but that's what I was going to make a video on today, but now we're focused on the storm. So back to the storm. So you weed out all the calls from the get-go. Then you find the best jobs, you get whatever has power, you start mobilizing to get equipment out there and start drying those out. So the main thing is you're not going to be able to do a lot of demo, obviously, but if you can tear up carpet, you can extract some, pull baseboards, like do what needs to be done to get on that job, get equipment out there, help reduce secondary damages such as mold, and mobilize to the next one, right? So it's just running, getting equipment out there, helping as many people as you can, starting with the large jobs, weeding out all the jobs. And so your guys are just running wild, right? All hands on deck. All the management knows, hey, they got to put in long days. Maybe they got to run out to jobs themselves. We even had our office manager at times. She drove trucks on large losses and storms, right? She would drive equipment out. We needed everybody. We would have temp labor ready. We would have subcontractors ready. We could full mobilize. The whole office staff could drive out as needed, but a lot of times they needed in the office. But check in on jobs, whatever needs to happen, we got to help our thing. But we also couldn't neglect our main customers. So if the hospital's called, we always had to leave a portion of equipment for our repeat clients because a lot of times they're getting hit too. And so, okay, we have to reserve some equipment and set aside some labor to take care of our regulars. Because if we abandon our regulars, there's a high chance we won't get them back, but also we can pick up other people's regulars. So like a lot of the other companies, they would run thin and they would abandon their regular clients and they'd be coming calling us. Well, what happened? Well, you guys we've been hunting you down, trying to work with you for years. What happened to the company you were working with? Oh, so they don't have any more machines. They don't have resources, so we're calling you. Well, hey, we don't abandon our clients when storms happen. We take care of them first. So let's set up a lunch. Let's revisit our working together, our partnership. So we would pick up a lot of new customers that way. So, there's a way to think differently than just chasing every call, running around with your head cut off. You can be very strategic to pick up new relationships in these events and make a lot of money, but not lose your current relationships. So how you go about things very smart and very strategically is what sets your company up for growth in the long run. So again, back to the storm, we would double our volume in the storm, right? With the same amount of people, all hands on deck. Now then, after the storm subsides, heavy demo, taking care of it all, we made it through, say a month, maybe 2 months later, depending on how big the storm is. Hey, we show our team, look at this, you guys broke records, okay? And you doubled volume, this month, and we're a whole new company now. And then what I said, this is very key, listen to this. I said, look, we're not gonna go back to doing the old volume anymore, okay? And I told you about that consultant. He said most companies grow and are double during storm event or cat losses because the whole team realizes that there's a new level of volume that they can do. And then you say to your team, let's not go be back. We've proven to ourselves we can do a greater thing with the same amount of people. Maybe we need some more people. We'll add to the team, of course, doing this volume. But we've proven to ourselves that we can do this new volume. We're not going back. This is what we're doing for going forward. We're going to set this. If we can do this, this is our new bar for our company. And sure enough, so 1 January, we doubled. That flood hit, the crazy volume. We picked up the hospitals, universities. We picked up a couple more hospitals, universities in that storm and doubled. We never went back. Our company doubled starting that January for the rest of the year. We never went back to doing that volume. So we did whatever it took to maintain that volume. We picked up those new relationships, right, along the way, and we were pushing business development, all those things, and boom, it opened a lot more doors, a lot of opportunity. Sure enough, the company never went back to doing the old volume. So if this storm happens to be a good one and some of you guys are doubling out there, I help your neighbors out, but use it as an opportunity to grow your company and be proud of your staff that they took the company to the next level and use this as a stepping stone to do a new volume and do whatever it takes to not go back to the old volume. Thank you for watching. Let's all survive the ice apocalypse. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Matthew Sharpe. See you in the next one.